I guess it's not about the winning trophies or scoring goals. It's about the friends we made along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Thank you for joining me for this post-match press conference / post-mortem of Chelsea's 2-0 defeat at home to Real Madrid in the Champions League. Thus, ending our Champions League experiences for the next year and a bit, 18 months at least, minimum. But we'll deal with that emotionally later here on Football Therapy. We're going to talk about what was actually, for a lot of the time, a good performance. But you know what? Chelsea don't score goals. Get the microphones up. Look, guys, tactically, I do want to shout out Frank Lampard here. Yes, it's another loss and we didn't score, but considering the form, the confidence, he set Chelsea up well. Thank you. Now, yeah, genuinely he did. We'll talk about that today. Look, man, I'm disappointed, but I'm not that bummed out because we needed a miracle. And had we achieved that miracle, we'd go up against possibly the most informed Manchester City under Guardiola that we've seen. So it ain't easy. But join with me on the journey here on Football Therapy. Subscribe, because we will take you through this transitional period and we will join up together in this rebuild. The rebuild starts here with good passing in the midfield and not the worst defending. They scored, Rodrigo scored a couple of goals. Always friggin' scores against us, this kid. And they're both in the second half, of course. Frank Lampard went with a 3-5-2 formation with Kepa in goal, a back three of Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Wesley, Fofana. Cucurella was the left wing back, which made me nervous. Reece James was the right wing back, but he had kind of a really interesting free role here. We had a midfield three of Kovacic, Enzo, and Kante, and a really relatively uninspiring front two of Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz. Now, that does not scream goals, especially there's a really functional midfield, which is great. I love it. Enzo, Kovacic, Kante, technical, functional, but there's no goals. And yes, there's the odd goal in Reece James went on form, but he's been nursing an injury. And of course, Chilwell scores goals. He's not here. You can thank Cucurella for that. Really uninspiring, but understandable front two of Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz. And I'll tell you why. First of all, Real Madrid 4-3-3, the Galacticos. Benzema was up front, and we kept him super quiet, actually. Rodrigo was the man on the night. He scored 2 goals. He even hit the crossbar as well, or hit the post, the woodwork. But the game plan was smart. All these misfiring wingers, and we saw substitute appearances from Felix, which I thought he would. Mudryk, which I thought, to be honest, he did what he could with attackers. Felix, Sterling, Mudryk, and Mount. What you'd expect for different reasons. That kind of all makes sense. Do you know what I mean? It kind of does all make sense, considering the scenario. And many of you would have seen this lineup, and you'd be like, oh, God, look at that, including myself to a degree. So this is a visceral gut instinct reaction. But the truth is, we played pretty well, and the plan worked. Reece James kind of had a free roll when in possession. He was allowed to drift right inside, and even even when he passes the ball, sort of hold and sort of what's it called? When you hold a position, occupying the space for a little while to wait to receive the ball back. And Kante ran the right channel as well as a right central midfielder. He got forward loads. He had a couple of chances to score himself. And the first half, we were so much better than Real Madrid. And we should have scored and we should have been winning. So at least one goal, just so we score a goal. So we're a football team that knows how to score goals. We're 1-0 up, we're bang back in the tie. Real Madrid have to think about it differently. There's only one goal in it. Look, man, Chelsea had 19 shots to Real Madrid's 8. 19 shots against Real Madrid. Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, that's good, because actually it might be bad because you're not in a high enough value scenario to take that shot. Yeah, it should be less shots and more patience. But I get it. Go at them. Stick it up and at them. You know, we had the majority of possession, 55% possession. We had a better pass success than Real Madrid. We had more dribbles than Real Madrid. We had more tackles than Real Madrid. We had 8 corners to their 2. 4 times the amount of corners. And each corner was terrible. Like, I don't know if this is because Anthony Barry's been put on gardening leave because of the whole Bayern Munich thing, but we were all set pieces, not just those 8 corners, but free kicks. Yeah, we were really, really, really bad, and that was a huge problem. Look, man, I want to credit the players. And I want to credit Frank Lampard. And I know that's hard when you just lost 2-0 at home, 4-0 on aggregate to Real Madrid. But Frank Lampard obviously inherited this mess really, really recently. And he's been not good, Frank Lampard, until now. He was brought in to bring the mood up. He is a coach of some value. You know, his previous work would dictate that in certain scenarios. But he set the team up really well here. And he got the players fired up properly. Stamford Bridge was rocking. And, you know, really until, like, Rodrigo scored, which is kind of like an hour in. And that was sort of considered a sucker punch. So for the majority of the game, we were better than Real Madrid. But this is what Real Madrid do. They're just an intelligent, settled team. And they can vibe their way for anything, man. We've outplayed Real Madrid and lost before. I'm not saying we outplayed them in this game in its entirety. Yes, we had more than double shots and stuff, but that doesn't really represent. They just stay in the game. They let you make your mistakes, and because they're good, when they get chances, hot dog, they will take them. When we're not. It's like, you know, Steve McManaman on BT Comms said it, and I don't generally like listening to these scousers talk about Chelsea, but he just is like staring you in the face, mate. These players don't score. Chelsea don't score goals. I don't know why, man. Give us any manager, give us any scenario, just some sort of juju. I don't get it, man. Like, we could have any freaking manager in the world, and I feel like just the curse of the blue shirt of late. We just don't score goals, man. Conte and Sarri, did they meet up and curse us? Actually, no, we didn't even fire Sarri, did we? He left together at Juve. I'm pretty sure, no, we did fire Conte, but he wanted to go. Anyway, my brain's digressing. We were set up well. The players actually fought. They fought for this game, which pissed me off, like, excuse me if you're swearing. Really wound me up. And I said this on my Instagram. I do like halftime live shows on my Instagram where I talk to Chelsea fans, essentially. So follow me at Football Yannick, one word, on Instagram to see that. And I said, it really sort of annoyed me, frustrated me that these players are suddenly just playing really well. Like, I know Champions League was, like, maybe not is out of reach, but you can still get into Europe next season, you know. It's not beneath you to play in some Europa League games. You know, you're getting touched up by Brighton, mate. And that's no disrespect to Brighton, they're excellent. Or pick any team. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, like, absolutely ragdolled by Brighton over two reverse fixtures or whatever. So, you know, if you play like not Napoli because they're going to win a Serie A, but like a big team in the Europa League, a historic team, yeah, focus on playing them. So we could have got into Europa League places if you just knuckled down and actually tried to play football like you did in this game. So it's weird. Like, I'm like partially like happy and proud that they actually looks like a team for once. I know we are scraping the barrel here and we are on the dregs and we are clutching at straws, but that's literally where we start from, bro. We just looked terrible against Brighton. We didn't look like we knew what we were doing, running all over the gaff. This game, this match, they absolutely knew what they were doing in terms of the game plan. They knew how to deal with the opposition players, they knew where each other were, they knew how to combine, and they knew how to take 19 shots. So they got to the other end of the pitch where they think, I'm going to have a shot at goal. Heck, I will have 19 shots. But it's the juju, man. It's the confidence. It's the Chelsea plague. It's really, really frustrating. I'm trying to like emotionally sort of process and digest and percolate on the fact how that's it now for the Champions League. Like, I hope we don't descend into what Arsenal did for years out of the Champions League. Because they were out for like, obviously they're still out, but they're going to qualify. Years and years since they got touched up by Bayern Munich 10-2. It's rough, man. It's hard out here because Man City are going to win it this season, aren't they? Napoli, at time of recording, I think they've because they were 2-0 down to Milan. I'm just going to quickly confirm while I record now. Oh, it was 1-1, but so Milan have gone through. Yeah, so Milan have gone through. Napoli only scored 1 goal. Was it Osimhen? Yeah, it was Osimhen in stoppage time as well. We should buy Osimhen. But that's for another video. Yeah, so look, man, Milan. I'd love for Milan to win it. That'd be great. For Fikayo Tomori, Giroud, why not go and win the Champions League? But the truth is, obviously there'll probably be a Milan derby in the semis, which is great, historic or whatever. Great game to watch with the pressure off. When you have to stop suffering watching Chelsea, you can be like, oh, let's watch the Milan derby and like laugh at Lukaku and then cry how he's coming back in the summer. So yeah, say Milan make the final. Man City wins it, man, for me. They're 3-0 up against Bayern. They'll beat this Real Madrid team. I mean, Real Madrid might bring the vibes, as they sort of do say, but I don't know. I think this is City's year. This game, though, It's deflating, but it's deflating because we've lost. It's frustrating because, like I said, the players demonstrated how they can play football. So it's like, why the friggin' heck have you not been doing that up to now? There is a sense of pride that Lampard, set up well, but ultimately it's just experience. The experience did us. The experience in Real Madrid can be in our position 2-0 down and just go and win it because they're just so chill and they just know each other so well. They're just like, no matter what happens, we're cool. We're frantic AF. Lampard ball is chaotic at the best of times, but we've been crap all season. We know we're playing well, we're combining well, but we just panic. It's chaos and no calm. It's literally like the antithesis of that Real Madrid side if you look at it like that. But I don't know, man. In a way, I kind of feel relieved. I'm pleased we can play football. And you know what the main takeaway is here? Because you might all, and understandably, be deflated. Like, look, why do we care? We're done now. We're rudderless. It's all crap. But the thing is, there is a positive to this. So I'll put the microphones up again. Because this is a rebuild. This is the start, really, starting again. Because we're going to get rid of players. But to watch certain players combine well, like Enzo and Kante, that's the start of something good. Okay. And of course, like Mudryk, looking a bit better last couple of games. He snatched that shot here. But these are players that are going to stay. Gallagher played well in a Champions League game against Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge just now. Next time, a negotiation comes to Crystal Palace or Everton or someone, Chelsea will ask for 50. They won't get it, but if they get 40 million for Conor Gallagher, that will massively help them out in financial fair play. Mason Mount might be sold. He was anonymous when he came on, but, can't really judge him on that. This game, it did good for, like, putting certain players in the shop window. In terms of the goals as well, I did want to quickly talk about it. The main talking point is like the vibes here, isn't it? Like, it's the fact how we played really well, we can't score, that's our vibe. Real's vibe is, doesn't matter if they're under pressure, because when they get a chance, they'll just be Real Madrid. That's their vibes. But the second goal, it just is what it is. We were chasing it, we were 3-0 down in the tie. I know that killed it, but the first goal is obviously the killer, because maybe up until that 60-minute part and that first Rodrigo goal, we were playing well, even though you just didn't feel like the goal was finally going to go in. But everyone was giving crap to Chalobah because he doesn't make the tackle, which is true. Or he does make the tackle when he should just not let him. He should just either take him out, like foul him. You're not going to get a red for that, or just run inside and cover the space. He basically just lets him go past him. So yeah, it's not great on Trevor Chalobah, but it's friggin' worse on Cucurella, man. And I'm not going to dig out Cucurella. Yes, he missed a shot, but you're not banking on him to score. He doesn't score goals. Like, I know if you feel like if you're a Chelsea left wing back, you need to be able to score. Fine. But don't be angry at this dude that's not been scoring before. And he played pretty well in a large spell of the game. I'm not going to dig him out. Chilwell was banned, largely because of Cucurella. It was Cucurella before. But like, come on, man. Do you know what I mean? He played pretty well. He was part of the team. But I'm going to put more blame on him for that goal than Trevor Chalobah. And obviously, it's a really, really important part of the game because Cucurella, I don't know if this was a tactical decision. I know Reece James had license to invert and come inside. Cucurella just straight up goes for a coffee, mate. When this ball is in transition on the Real Madrid's right-hand side, Cucurella is like putting in a food order somewhere like well inside. Like he's absolutely not prepared to cover for that transition at all. He's not even on his respective flank. He's not even near the ball. He's just gone, mate. I don't know where the fuck he's gone, but he's gone. Anyway, that's how I remember it. I still need to watch it back. But let me know what you think, guys. I think we played well. And as hard it is to try and dissect some positivity, it's the start of some of these players that will be here long term learning how to play with each other. And that's something positive. So be interesting to see what the back pages and headlines say tomorrow. But thank you for joining me. Thanks for liking the video to show your support. Consider subscribing. Daily content, of course. And should you subscribe, hit the sweet bell. We're going to be okay. Ciao.